Now that this is dry, it's time to add some of those darker details. So I'm excited, and what I'm gonna do is make sure there's not a ton of water on my brush before I get started. And I kind of want to coat the areas that are gonna have a highlight in this, a dark area in this original base color for the background, so it'll blend out. And then the reason you use a brush like this that's long but also pointed is because you can use the side of it to blend. And I'm gonna need some water. And I always tap the brush before I put it directly on my piece to make sure that I have the right amount of water so I don't like ruin it by adding way too much water. But this is definitely a process with adding more water, adding more pigment. It takes a lot of effort, but it's definitely worth it in the end. Because you definitely want to make sure you blend everything out properly. And I'll add just water to areas that I want to blend out instead of more pigment. Like so. And it's okay if you get some darkness in areas that are supposed to be highlighted, because I'll go back in the third layer and add highlights once the rest of this stuff is dry. And I definitely want to be careful as I get close to the outline of the lips and not use as much water, but use pigment. Because it's the most annoying thing when the lips start to bleed everywhere. Okay, now it's time to actually really go in with this dark color. And as you can see, I'm not using a lot of water. I'm just using pigment because there's already a lot of water on here, so I can blend it out. This is like makeup brush and make eyeshadow blending, but just a lot harder. So the fabric should be pretty wet when you're doing this. That's how you'll know that you've been blending stuff the right way. So I'm just gonna add a few more super dark details, and then I'm going to let this dry too so I can do the highlights later. Alright, I think that I am done with this part. I'm gonna go add a little more into the lips now, but not like too much. So we'll see how that goes. And the eyes too. And I'm gonna mix some of this glittery stuff with a darker color purple that we can actually shade in here. Wow, see, that's so nice. I'm gonna add a tiny bit of blue actually to these eyes to make them really dynamic. And then I'm gonna add a tiny bit more to these lips. But the real work will be done on the lips when it's time to highlight. So that is where I leave you all for now. Stay tuned for the final part of this tutorial, which will cover adding highlights and brightening up some areas that need to be brightened. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys find this helpful. I have more watercolor painting and embroidery tutorials on my YouTube channel and IGTV, so go check it out.